Week 12. You've made it this far. Well done. I'm very pleased. There's a few things that I want to look at before I wrap this course up. There's 12 and 13. I go into a lot more detail in this stuff inside of the mastermind, inside of the next 90 days program, the one I charge for. Again, this program is just to help you guys get started. It's to help you find some traction, and it's to help the ones that are struggling and can't quite afford what we sell to build that bankroll up and to get a little bit better for free. It's I really get a kick out of giving this information out, and I teach for free, and then I sell the implementation and the coaching on the backside of it. So it all works out. You guys win, I win, and everyone's happy. So let's take a look at goal setting and achievement. Wow. You know, I thought goal setting and stuff was just bullshit when I grew up. I grew up very blue collar, for those of you that don't know, like very much roll up your sleeves. We do the work. Let's fucking go. And it was just that day in, day out. There wasn't really like goal setting and stuff. You just got up and went to work because that's what you did. And then, you know, by the time Friday rolled around, you got paid. You go to the pub and you blow your paycheck, and that's it. But like, you know, the older I get, the more I realize that goal setting is like one of the most crucial parts of this shit. Crucial. Like, you know, if you only say, hey, man, I just wish I had enough to pay the bills, and your bills are $5,000 a month, guess what your business is going to make at the end of the day? $5,000 a month, period. Because the only goal you set was to pay your bills. And so that's what you do. But nobody tells you this. Like, setting a goal is what makes you get out of bed. Setting a goal is what makes you know, well, I can do this myself, or I need 16 employees. You know, setting a goal says I can do this with the money in my bank, or shit, I need $500,000 to achieve this goal. How am I going to do it? But because we don't set the goal, we never make the movement. And so you get this, it's like you've got a car with a tank full of gas, and you've never picked up a map and said, right, we're off to drive over here. So you just drive the car around, and you run out of gas, and you're like, well, fuck, I need more gas. Never once did you say, all right, I'm going to take my car, I'm going to go from here to here. This is where I'm going to end up. This is how I'm going to get there. And if you draw out that map, you fill the car with petrol, off you go, boom, you're at your goal. But again, most of us, all of us starting out, skip that. You think Elon would be putting spaceships up and having a global satellite system if he hadn't sat down and go, right, I'm going to put some spaceships up, and here's what I'm going to do, and here's how I'm going to do it. He set the goal, and then he broke it into parts, and he went and did it. So I cannot stress enough how important setting goals is. And it is, like, I thought I'd be teaching mainly business stuff. I thought I'd be teaching systems, processes, how to do this, how to do that. It's really not. The majority of my mastermind is about getting your mind in the right place, understanding who you are, understanding who your customer is, and putting yourself into a position where you can go and work on stuff every single day to move you towards specific goals. Because, you know, goals provide direction and focus. They allow you to say, right, man, okay, let's say you want to make $20,000 a month, right? Well, there's 20 work days in a month. So if I want to do $20,000 in revenue, I've got to do $1,000 every day, Monday through Friday. All right. Well, how do I get to that? Well, the thing I sell is $100. Okay. So I got to sell 10 things. All right. I got to sell 10 things in a day. I got to sell 50 in a week. How do I sell 10 things? Well, currently to sell 10 things, I have 8 people click on my landing page, and every person that clicks buys. One in 8 people buy. All right. So if that's the case, I need to send 80 clicks to my landing page every day, which should generate 10 sales, which should generate $1,000, which should generate my $20,000 a month. Nobody ever does that. They don't sit there and say, what do I want to make? What does my dream life look like? What does my dream business look like? If I want to do $1 million a year, right, what do I got to do? $3,500 a day, something like that. All right, so how do I make $3,500 a day? Well, the thing I sell is $100. Okay. Well, how much is your margin on it? Well, it's 50%. Okay, so let's see here. I got, and I'll just use round math. I got $3,500. So I need to sell $7,000 worth of stuff at $100 a sale. Okay, so I need to find 700 customers a day to get to $1 million a year. And then you've got a benchmark for where to go. Like, you know that if I like, you might only have one sale a day coming in. Don't laugh at that. That's more than most people have got. Most businesses don't even get to this fucking point. So the fact you're here is wonderful, right? Most people don't get to this point. They don't do it. But if you've got a way to quantify where you're trying to go, it can help you to stay motivated. It can be a benchmark for, did I get enough work done today? It can tell you exactly what I need to do to get to that point. Well, if you're not making 20 sales calls a day, all right, how do I make 20 sales calls a day? Right. You take I cannot and you turn it into how can I. So be very specific about your goals. Don't be just like, oh, I want to have a business. No, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and it's going to generate me this much money. Like, be very clear about what you want to achieve. And it has to be something you can measure. And this is why I'm such a huge proponent of taking notes, and the whole notebook system that I have in the mastermind course is because once you can measure something, you can quantify it against where you were and where you are, and you can use it to track progress. You can see where you're strong, you can see where you're weak, you can see where you're winning, you can see where you're losing. So make sure your goals are measurable and that you can easily track them, and make sure they're achievable, make sure it's realistic. You know, like, there's got to be some realistic, but they got to be challenging. So if you want 700 sales a day and you're currently making one, that's probably a bit of a fucking unrealistic goal to try and crack in the next 90 days. But it's harder to make one sale a day than it is to make 100 sales a day. The only thing in between is feeding the machine that's making the sales. So to say, well, I want to scale from one sale a day to 50 sales a day in the next 90 days, it's pretty achievable. Yeah, you could probably get there. All right, so set that down, because when you hit 50, you say, right, I want to scale to 200. That's pretty achievable for me. I could probably do that. But going from 1 to 200, oof, that's a lot. I don't know if I can mess with that. Right? So they got to be achievable. They got to be relevant. It's got to get you where you want to go. Like, you know, if your dream for me, my dream is teaching, my dream is coaching, my dream is operating small businesses and turning them around. And so if what I'm doing doesn't align with that dream, then what's the point of having it as a goal? Like, you know, it's got to align with where you're trying to go to. And again, by setting these goals down, by coming up with your ideal you and your ideal day and your ideal business and all this other stuff that we teach, it's much easier to say no to stuff. Okay. So, you know, as much as I like graphic design and making logos, I don't do that. I've done it a lot, but I don't do it because it doesn't put me in a position financially of where I'm trying to go and where my dream is. You know, as good as I am at painting houses, like, you know, I did an apprenticeship as a painter when I was about 15 years old. I don't paint houses because it doesn't align with my goals and my vision and where I'm trying to go. So make sure the goals you set for your business align with where you want to go, because then you'll keep doing them, right? And the last one is set a fucking deadline. I don't know why this is human nature, you know, but we tend to fill up whatever time we have. So if you've got 2 weeks to finish a project, most of you aren't going to start it till about the 12th day. Like, and this was something I relearned in school last year when I did my my postgrad in AI. They give you a project and you got a 3-week deadline on the project. So, oh shit, I've got plenty of time, no worries. And, you know, 19 days into it, you still haven't worked on the first slide. Like, oh shit. So if there's no deadline, you just keep pushing your goals back and you push them back and you push them back and you push them back and say, well, it doesn't really matter. And I'll use fitness for this one. This is a good one, because you say, you know, I want to get fit and I want to do this and I want to do that. Well, yeah, it's easy to start, but it's very difficult to stay consistent. And so if you say, well, I'm going to go running every day for the next 90 days, I'm going to get in the best shape of my life, that's fine. But what if you put a 10K at the end of that 90 days with $1,000 cash bet on it with somebody else? Now you've got an urgent deadline. Now you've got to go running every day. And it's kind of the same in business. If you give yourself a deadline, say, right, I have to have this course finished no later than by Sunday night so I can publish it on Monday, whatever, then I know that there's a chance that I'm going to be working on Thursday, on Friday, and on Saturday to get this course finished and pushed out. Because if I don't set that deadline, I'm going to look at my watch at noon on Friday and you go, you know what, it's a nice day. Let me go crack one of those non-alcoholic Stella Artois that I like so much and knock a few golf balls about. You can't do that because I'm bound by this time that I've got to get this goal finished for and hit this deadline so that my company can move towards where I'm trying to take it. But if you don't set deadlines, especially as an entrepreneur, if you don't hold yourself accountable, nobody fucking will. And so it slides to the next week and it slides to the next week and it slides to the next month. And that's what a coach is for. Like I'm the guy in the tracksuit blowing the whistle being like, come on, fucking crack on. Give me 2 more sets. You wanted this. You want this goal. Roll up your fucking sleeves and get to work. And, half the time the guys don't like that. Yeah, they don't like getting called out like that. But again, it's my job because entrepreneurs, we like it when nobody tells us what to do and we can make all our own decisions. But we also have to suffer the consequences of nobody telling us what to do and us making our own decisions. And until you really crack this game and figure it out, a lot of what you want to do is staying up, is going drinking, is trying some drugs, and is chasing some women. And that's okay. That's normal. But goals, deadlines, can we measure it? Can we improve it? That's what I do. That's what coaching is so important for. It's to extract these goals from you and it's to help you move in that direction to get those goals. So don't skip setting goals, And again, this is what I teach in the group in much more detail, but I want to give it to you guys for free just so you can go and try it and do some homework. So the first thing about goal setting is to define your vision. Who do you want to become? Your business will operate however you operate it, which means it is a direct reflection of you. How you run it is a reflection of how you run everything. So we start with what's the ideal version of you? What does the ideal version of you look like? How much money does the ideal version of you have? What does the ideal version of you wear? What does the ideal version of you do for a living? A lot of people's dream doesn't align with what they're doing in their business. But if they don't stop and dream, they never discover that. They never understand it. So it's very important to come out the gate here with a well-defined vision for your company. And again, it's probably why so many companies fail. They just go round and round doing the same old shit with no real vision, and then a couple of speed bumps in the road, and the rent's late, and then that's that. And it's such a shame because they never set out and say, I want to do this or I want to do that. They never set anything above, I just want to work for myself. I'll pay my own bills. And that's why a lot of businesses never crack that $100,000 a year in profit, because the business owner, he's doing good enough and he can manage to live off 40 or 50 grand while he builds his business. But nothing happens because he keeps living off that 40 or 50 grand. He never sets his goals any higher. So set your vision for yourself and don't be afraid of where that vision goes. Then you're going to break it down into smaller, manageable goals. Remember earlier when I was talking about, we want to do $1 million a year? Well, $1 million a year is a lot. But, $3,500 a day is not that much. And, if we broke that down and said, well, shit, I need to cover 30 grand a week. Okay, well, what's 30 grand a week? Well, it's selling 6 things for 5 grand. All right. So you're telling me if I could sell 6 things a week for 5 grand a thing, I could do $1 million in revenue in a year. Yep. What can I sell for 5 grand? Well, I don't know. That's why we do this. That's the whole point. Do I have a product that I can sell for $7,000 or $8,000 and make $5,000 profit on it? Is there a market for that? I don't know. Maybe you sell stuff for $1,000. Okay, I got to sell 30 of these in a week. Maybe you sell stuff for $500. All right, I got to find 60 customers this week. Like, break it down. Like, just whatever you want to make. I want to make $250,000 a month. Okay, well, that's what I'm working on. So I got to have how many people pay me how much money? we'll just figure it out. So I got packages at $2,500. I got packages at $25,000. We'll just see. But my goal is 250 grand. I would break it down, and I go after the $25,000 projects, and I go after the $2,500 projects. And that's the big fish, little fish analogy. And when I say projects, I mean like per month. Like, so we'll have some clients that bill, I think the biggest one I've had was billing about 75,000 a month, right? But big fish are difficult to catch. Little fish are easier to catch. So you eat the little fish and live off them while you set your lines for the big fish. And that's kind of how I do it. I have 3 or 4 or 5 big deals going on at any given time. And then I have, try to have 15 or 20 smaller things going on at any given time. And then it all smooths itself out, you see. But by breaking down your finance goals, nobody ever does it, man. And easy. Now I can make an action plan. Now I can go, I need to talk to this many people. I need to have this many presentations. I need to close this many sales. And on the backside, I'm going to need this many employees. I've got these guys going to do this. This team's going to do that. I'm going to need to add 3 more people. I know, because I got a plan, because my shit is broken down. Then this is really important. You might have 20 fucking goals as a business owner, right? That's not a problem. The problem is, how do we prioritize those goals? If you look, a lot of those goals will kind of be symbiotic to each other. They'll kind of slide in and out of each other a little bit. And so what I like to do is, over 90 days, I like to hone you in on no more than 5 things. I generally do 3 or 4. And we set 3 or 4 major goals, and that's fucking it, right? Because if everything's a goal, then nothing's a goal. If everything's important, then nothing's important. And there's going to be a few goals on there that are far more important to you than 80% of them. So pick the top 3, the top 4 goals, and set those, and then put milestones for going to get each goal. And the reason I tell you to track your progress and celebrate your wins, and the reason I use that tracking notepad that I use, is if you can see a little win, it does far more for you while you're a lot of the time it feels like you're that fella from mythology that's pushing the boulder up the hill constantly, and every time you rest it slips back a little and it keeps pushing it up the hill. So it's wonderful to have a notebook that you can flick back every day and go, wow, I got a lot done. I had a day full of wins. Oh wow, I got a lot done. I had a day full of wins. And every day celebrating 4 or 5 wins. And again, I've been over this, and I go over it in the other group as well, but a win can be anything from cleaning the kitchen and having an empty trash can, and making my bed. I don't know how many business owners I come across are deathly ashamed of their houses because they're an absolute fucking state because, oh, well, it's not important. I got to get things sold. I got to focus on the business, but no, you've got to live too. And so anything can be a win if you're struggling with it. And so that's why tracking wins is so, so important. You will have to overcome obstacles on your way to the goals. Be flexible. I understand that you might not get all your sales calls done on any particular day, but you might have a little bit of slow time coming into the weekend where you can catch up on a few. Seek support. That's important. It's fucking lonely doing this. It's very lonely. There's often times where it'll just be you and the computer, and you'll have to shut the doors, put your headphones on, and get on with it. So, make sure you've got a network around you. We have 2. We have the school group here that's free that you all are in. Use the group, post up, say what you need, introduce yourself, tell us a bit about yourself. The more you interact in the group, the more value you get out of it. And we have the offline group, the BCS Business Owners and Entrepreneurs. It's on Facebook, and we meet every Thursday evening. So there's plenty of support around you if you're struggling. And maintain a positive mindset, because it's going to rain pretty much any day of the week, but there's no reason that says you can't be happy about the rain. You can't go dance in the rain, and you can't dry off later. So don't let a couple of minutes of bad shit ruin your day. Don't let a setback discourage you. Keep working towards it, and with consistency over time, you'll hit any goal that you set. All right. It's my goal to make you all better at business. If you need help with any of this, post in the Q&A session. Talk to us when we go on live. I'm around in the forums. I'm here to help. And again, I give the information away for free. and I make my living by selling the implementation, selling the accountability, and helping you to get all this put together in your business. So if that's something you need a little bit of, just click the button and set a 15-minute appointment, and we can cut your business open, rummage around on the inside, and see what it is that I can fix. All right, that's going to do it for this lesson. I will see you on the next one.